Hello there, in this video I will be talking about goals and how you can achieve these goals. And this is very important if you are going to make your own workout routine, because without any goals you won't be able to work out properly. First of all, here are 3 questions that you have to ask yourself. The first one is, what do you want to achieve? So what are your goals actually? And second is, what is realistic? And finally, what suits you? And when you give answer to these questions, make sure that you write down the answers, and eventually you will be able to form your own goals that are realistic and that suit you. First of all, there are a couple of main goals that you can have with fitness and doing sports, and some of them are losing weight, gaining muscle, increasing speed, flexibility and endurance, gaining strength and muscle endurance or strength endurance. And if you know what kind of main goals or macro goals that you want to achieve, then you can start to make some smaller goals that will eventually help you to achieve those big goals. So if you want to lose weight, then you could have as a smaller goal to first lose 2 pounds and then stay on the new weight for a while, after which you will try to lose another 2 pounds. Of course, you can have more than one macro goal, although it is often a problem for most people to combine a couple of goals together, because some goals can go together very well and others will really not help each other out. So losing weight and gaining muscle together is often a big problem for most people. Which brings me to the next point, and this is that your goals have to be realistic. So for that I got a couple of questions as well. And the first of these questions is, where do you stand now? So what is your current level of fitness? Can you already swim about 100 meters, or do you have to learn that first? Second is, how long will it take you? Do you make a realistic estimate of how much time it will take you to reach your goal? So running a marathon by only training for 1 month, of course, is not realistic. Do you have the right equipments? Because equipments are very important, and apart from equipments you should also check if you got the ability to take the right nutrition, because without the good amount of calories you might not be able to reach the goal, like gaining muscle for example. Are your goals combinable? So if you want to gain flexibility and gain muscle, how realistic is it that you will succeed in both of those? And finally, can you endure it? So this means that you shouldn't try to do things that you really don't like, because eventually you will probably give it up. The final main question that you have to ask yourself is, what suits you? And with that I mean, do you like to swim or run or lift weights? Because if you don't, then I definitely don't recommend you to do so. Are you talented in any kind of sport? Because if you are very bad at a sport, then eventually you might stop liking it. So sometimes it's better to choose something that you're good at rather than something that you want to be good at without the chance of succeeding. Can you combine it with your daily activities? So if you are studying to become a doctor, you will probably need to study a lot of hours each week. So will you still have time left to do some training for a marathon, which will also take you a lot of hours each week? And finally, is your body composition suited for your goal? So with that I mean that some people might be too short or too tall to do a certain sport, like gymnastics, and a very tall person might not be suited for gymnastics, whereas a shorter person might be less suited to do some basketball on a higher level. And here are some goals that you can try to achieve for a certain sport. So if you are into sprinting or athletics, then gaining muscle and strength as well as increasing speed and some flexibility might be useful. And if you're a football or soccer player, then endurance and some strength might be important, and muscle gain is also a possibility for those who practice football or soccer. Although if you are playing football or soccer, it is really not realistic to think that you can also work out your flexibility, for example your hamstrings, because with these sports your hamstrings are shortened because of the fact that this will help you reduce the chance of getting injured. So a flexible soccer player might be at a higher risk of getting injured. Another example would be for a runner, a long distance runner. Those really don't need a big amount of muscle mass, and a bodybuilder doesn't really need any good endurance for long distances because it is unlikely that they will start to run marathons. So there are some good goals that you can combine, and I gave you 4 of these, like losing weight and increasing endurance, gaining strength and muscle mass together. Gaining muscle, gaining strength and gaining speed will go together pretty well, and gaining strength, increasing speed and increasing some flexibility might also be a good way to maximize your ability to achieve these goals. There are some more of these combinations, but I just gave you a couple of those to think about. And there are some goals that will not combine together that well, like gaining muscle and increasing endurance, increasing speed and increasing endurance, because this is high intensity versus low intensity, and for these kind of goals you will use different muscle fibers. And also muscle endurance and gaining muscle, because muscle endurance exercises are often a lot different than gaining muscle exercises. And also gaining muscle and gaining flexibility is pretty difficult because stronger and better developed muscles have a higher muscle tone, and this will naturally decrease the amount of flexibility in that particular muscle. The comment question of today, of course, is: are you realistic? And leave your comment in the comment section. Subscribe to my channel for more videos. Click on playlist to see every video in this beginner bodybuilding basics playlist, and click on my recently uploaded videos to watch them. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.